Alright, what's up everybody? Commish AceCoach704, PEL Primetime Elite League. We are doing a draft lottery / team selection show, kind of, sort of. We're going to kind of piece this together in a couple parts. First off, we're going to do the draft order, and what we've got here is we've got a list of everyone assigned a number. I'll go through that list, and then I'm going to run the random number generator through an app called Random UX, which is free on Google Play. And we just set up a parameter from 1 to 24 because we have 24 people involved, and we have 3 people that we're going to skip, but we'll still include them in the draft order so they can see where they would have picked, and then they can kick themselves for not choosing me, or sending me a list, I should say. All right, so number 1 is assigned to Shoebox. Number 2 is to A Page, who is abstaining because he did not send a list. Number 3 is Aaron. Number 4 is Agape. Number 5 is Ben. 6 is Big Main. Number 7, Blake. Number 8, Bugatti. Number 9 is Caleb. Number 10 is Crazy Ed. Number 11, Deontay. Number 12, Eric. Number 13, Frank, who is abstaining because he did not send in a list. Number 14, Glenn. Number 15, Jeff Berry. 16 is Jeff Kane. 17 is Kyle. 18 is Levi. 19 is Martell, who's abstaining because he did not send a list. 20 is Reggie. 21, Ragjob. 22, Cody. 23, Tristan, excuse me. And 24 is yours truly, AceCoach704, also known as Matt, which y'all don't know my real name. But anyways, those are the 24 teams that will be participating in this draft lottery setup. And we're going to go ahead and get started on the order. All right, so let's run the generator right here. We're going to start. First pick is number 24. Are you serious? I'm going to show you this just so y'all know. 24. I don't know if you can see it or not. That's the first pick, so I've got the first pick. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, rest assured, on all the lists I've seen, I'm going to choose a team that was not on any of those lists. So don't feel bad about that. Okay? All right, the next pick, that is unbelievable. This pick is, I got to write this down. 24. All right, pick number 2 is number 9, and that is Caleb. All right. So Caleb has the number 2 pick. Next pick is number 3, which is Aaron. All right. Number 4 pick is number 8, which is Bugatti. The 5th pick in the PEL draft lottery is number 23, which is Tristan. All right. Moving right along, the next pick in the PEL draft lottery. Number 13, which is Frank, who abstained, so he will be skipped. But he would have had a pretty good pick. Should have sent that team list in. The next pick is going to be number 18, which is Levi. All right. Next pick will be number 6, which is Big Main. All right. Next pick in the draft lottery is number 11, which is Deontay. Deontay. If they're there. Will they be? We'll find out. The next pick is number 16, which is Jeff Kane. All right. Next pick in the draft lottery is number 5, which is Ben. Okay. Next pick, number 15, Jeff Berry. Next on the list is number 21, which is Ragjob. I know you're getting your team, Ragjob. I did not see that team listed anywhere else. Next pick on the list is Number 19, that's Bartel, who is being skipped because he did not send in his team list. So we proceed to number 10, which is Crazy Ed. All right, right along here. We should be in the middle of the picks now. All right, next pick is, let's see, number 17, that's Kyle. All right. So if you hadn't heard your number yet, we're probably getting into the meat of your list here. The next pick in the PEL draft lottery is number 20, which is Reggie. All right. Next pick on the list is 14, which is Glenn. If y'all don't know these names, these are the names I took from the chat as your real name in the list. So just keep that in mind, okay? The next pick is number 2, Mr. Page, who is skipped because he did not submit his list. So the next pick will be number 22, which is Cody. All right. Going next in the PEL draft lottery is number 4. It's a Gate. I know about them Cowboys, don't look good. Next on the list is number 7, which is Blake. Don't know about them Falcons either. We'll see how it shakes out. We'll see. Next on the list is number 12, which is Eric. Right. I think we've got a couple names left. Let's see what we got here. Next on the list, number 1, which is Shoebox. And I believe that is all of the options. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yep. All right, so that is the draft order. We're going to sort it out here with the people that submitted lists, and this will continue on here shortly. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right, guys, now let's take a look at this team selections. I'm going to tell you something. This was really fun putting this together, and I think this is going to be the way we do this going forward because it made this really efficient. And I can tell you, everyone got a team that was listed in their top 5 that participated in submitting their teams. So that's pretty awesome. To start out with, I'm going to tell you the 11 teams that were not selected. These teams are available for new recruits as they join the league. I talked to Big Main. Big Main's got 5 guys that he says he can add in, so they'll be able to choose from this list. And then, of course, don't forget, we have the reverse draft that is going to happen in late July, which is where you can keep your team that you get today, or you can switch to one of the teams that is available or open within the open team pool. So here we go. The open teams are the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, Miami Dolphins, Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts, Denver Broncos, Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champs, were not selected in this process, which was shocking to me. The Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Seattle Seahawks. So none of those teams were selected by you guys as your team. So, rest assured that right now, you have one of the teams on your top 5 list. All right, so based on that order, we'll start at the top. Somehow, by some damn miracle, I got the number 1 pick. And I told myself I was going to pick these guys, especially when I didn't see them on any top 5 list. I felt good about it. I'm going back home to Carolina, and I'm taking the Panthers. They were disrespected last Madden. I was very pissed off how that team was managed. And, we're going back home to where this thing started in Madden 16. And we're gonna treat them right. We're gonna treat them right the way they deserve to be treated. Especially Cam Newton, who's not a hoe like y'all shopped him around last day of Madden. Bullshit. I feel better now. Okay, number 2 pick went to Caleb, and Caleb chose the Baltimore Ravens. Caleb is a really good player. It's going to be really fun to see what he does with that Ravens team. And the Ravens were on several top 5 lists, and I was trying to figure out why. Maybe they got a bunch of draft picks or something. I can't remember what the allure is with Baltimore. But Caleb is the owner of the Baltimore Ravens. Congratulations. All right, moving right along, the 3rd pick went to Aaron, and Aaron chose the Minnesota Vikings. Very, very good pick. They've got some good talent to work with on that team. Aaron likes to throw the ball, so I believe Kirk Cousins is there. I believe they signed him in the offseason, so I expect Cousins to be one of the top leading pass leaders in the league if he does, stick with the Vikings throughout the whole process. But that's who Aaron selected. Excuse me. All right, so number 4 went to Bugatti. And Bugatti, as y'all know, he's been with the Doo-Doo Browns for a couple seasons. And, one time this team did really well in a game, and he was talking about it in the Commish chat. And I said, why haven't you picked these guys before? He said, well, I love them too much in real life. But this time around, he's got his real life team, and they are the LA Rams. And I'm going to tell you right now, we already know how good he is at defense. The LA Rams are stacked like hell, and this is going to be a damn problem. But he's got his favorite team, and it's always good to see that. All right. The 5th selection went to Tristan, and Tristan has chosen the aforementioned Doo-Doo Browns. And, we all know the Browns have a ton of young talent, and we know how Tristan is with young players. So I wasn't surprised that he picked that team as his number 1 choice, and he's got them. So there's going to be, a lot of young players on the field for the Browns, the first couple years for sure. No doubt about that. All right, so the 6th pick went to Levi, and Levi chose the Houston Texans. And I thought that was an interesting choice. The Texans with Deshaun Watson, are very appealing to play with, and J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, and all those guys. A lot of talent there. Last year Levi switched his team in the reverse draft, so it'll be really interesting to see if he sticks with his Texans or if he switches to the Oakland Detroit Lions that are his real life favorite team. Not that I'm suggesting he should, but hey, why not? They gotta win sometime. All right, the next pick went to Big Maine. And Big Maine is going to be very happy because Big Maine has the Dallas Cowboys. Finally, he's got his team. And that's probably going to disappoint some of you because I saw the Cowboys were the first choice for a couple people. But that's okay because they went to, a real fan, and I know a real fan will take care of them. I hope. I certainly hope so. All right, so the next pick went to Deontay, and it's no surprise here. Deontay's taking the Chargers, his hometown team. I believe one other person had the Chargers up pretty high. They weren't their first choice, but they were, I think, the second choice. But I thought that was interesting to see that. But, there's no surprise there. Deontay will do well, as he always does with the Chargers. All right, the 9th pick. Who did that went to the 9th pick went to Jeff King. And we all know Jeff is a really good guy. I went through some tough times for a little bit last year. But Jeff got his favorite team, once again, the Patriots. So I was glad to see that. And, he played pretty well with those Patriots when he had time to play with them last year. He had some really good games, when I was the Bills. And, he plays that crazy style. And with them, there's 3 other open teams in the AFC East. So, I think he's got a shot, to really do something, based on whoever we get new that comes in. Or if somebody switches in the reverse draft in late July. All right, the 10th pick went to number Ben, and Ben went with his second choice, which was the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons were a very coveted team by a number of people in the draft, and I was surprised that they went so late. They went 10th, where I thought they would be a little higher, but that's just how it fell. So Ben's got the Falcons. We'll see if he sticks with them, or he will switch in the reverse draft coming up in late July, like I said before. All right, the next pick went to Jeff Berry, and Jeff on his list had to go with his third choice, which was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jeff's had the Jags before. I don't think it was this past Madden. It was the one before that. Madden 17, I believe he was the Jags. And, the Jags, hell, they're really good too. The way they're set up perfect for Jeff because he likes to rush with the D-line. And their secondary is awesome, led by Jalen Ramsey. So I expect, him to be, at the top of the league once again, as usual, contending for Super Bowl title. All right, the next pick went to Rag Job, and Rag Job, this is the 12th pick, by the way. Rag Job chose the Redskins. The Redskins were his number 1 team. They were the only, that's the only time I saw them on any of the lists. So, I felt real good about Rag Job getting his team when his pick came out, no matter, where it was going to be. Kind of like me. I didn't see the Panthers anywhere. I didn't see the Redskins anywhere. So it didn't really matter where he picked in the draft. He was going to get the Redskins. And that's his team. So really, really glad to see that. All right, 13 went to Crazy Ed. And Crazy Ed chose his hometown team, the Bears, once again. He was the Bears last Madden. Didn't really work out, Mitch Trubisky. But, I'm glad he got that was his number 1 choice. And, I'm glad that he was able to get that down at 13. That made me feel good. I think someone else had the Bears listed pretty high, and they weren't able to get them because, Crazy had them first. All right, so 14 went to Kyle, and Kyle has to go with his number 3 choice, which were the New York Giants. And the New York Giants have a ton of young talent. Saquon Barkley, of course, a really, really good running back. Kyle runs the ball pretty well, so that's going to be a really good match. He'll be able to draft a quarterback pretty early because Eli will probably retire early. And he's got some pieces to work with. Of course, throwing to Odell will be a lot of fun. And I thought that's a good choice. That's a good choice as a fallback. They got some young pieces that'll grow, and you can build a little bit in certain key positions. All right, so 15 was Reggie, and Reggie got his hometown team, the Saints, that were his number 1 pick this year. And I'm a real surprised. The Saints did not come up on anyone else's top 5 list, and I really thought they were going to be a hot pick. They got some real studs, of course, with Kamara doing so well, and then some of their young guys that played really well last year. Of course, they got some salary issues with Drew Brees and being older, making so much money, but I'm glad Reggie was able to get his team, number 1 team at 15, which I believe this is the last number 1 team that was given out. So if you haven't heard your name yet, you didn't get your top team, which you probably know by now. All right, so 16 went to, let's see, that was Glenn, okay? And Glenn chose the Titans. And that was the second team on his list, and I thought that was interesting because, he was the Steelers last Madden, and the Titans, I didn't see him going that way, but yeah, that's a really good choice. I mean, Mariota's playing well, and Derrick Henry is a stud, of course, and then they got some good young guys on the outside, and that defense is coming together too. So, Glenn's got the Titans for now. We'll see if he switches in the reverse draft coming up in July. All right, so then after Glenn, we had Cody. And we all know Cody was the Titans the past few years, so he had to go and slide deep down in his list, and he got the Arizona Cardinals. And I think this is a really, really good spot. Yeah, I really like the Cardinals. If I made a top 5 list, they would have been on it. They got really good DBs. They got a quarterback situation where I think Bradford is good for 1 year, then you'll draft someone to replace him. They got some good pieces down there. And, I think Cody got a pretty good team here pretty late in the process. We'll see if he switches in the reverse draft. Number 18 went to, I believe that was the Gape. Yep. Of course, the Gape has been the Cowboys since the league has been around. But at this point in the draft order, of course, he couldn't get the Cowboys, so the Packers, Green Bay Packers, were number 4 on his list, I believe. And he was able to get them. I saw them on a couple of other lists pretty deep. But he's got the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers are a good spot. Anytime you got Aaron Rodgers, you can work with that. And of course, all the young corners they got in the draft, my goodness, you will not have to draft a DB because those guys will grow, and I think they're all pretty fast, and that's going to be a good group to watch in Green Bay. Number 19 was Blake, and I know you've been waiting on pins and needles, Blake, but at the 19th pick, you got your 5th team, and I think this was a hell of a smart pick. You got the Raiders. And I'm going to tell you, man, the Raiders, they got some pieces. John Gruden coming in there, because you got Derek Carr, who's a really, really good quarterback. They've got Khalil Mack, of course, coming off the edge, and they still got some good players. They kind of underachieved last year, but they still got some good players, and I think you get, I don't know who the running back is. They got beast mode. So that's perfect. The way you play, you run, power run with him, and then you get, some other complementary pieces in there. That's a good choice. Now, I think that was smart to pick them 5th, and, you get them at number 19. And of course, you still have the option to switch in the reverse draft. Number 20, who is that? That's Eric. Okay, so Eric was able to get the 49ers, which I was really surprised once again that no one else had these guys on their radar. Much improved team, Jimmy Garoppolo playing well. They've got a number of young guys. The tight end, I think, is really good. Kittle, I believe is his name. They got some good guys on defense. Foster will be there, along with some others. That was a smart pick to pick them. I think they were number 3 on his list, and he's got them at number 20. That's really good value. All right, last but far from least is Shoebox, who got the last pick in the draft. And he was still able to get a top 5 team on his list. He got assigned the Kansas City Chiefs. And, we all know the Chiefs have some really good talent. You got Mahomes that's going to take over quarterback with a rocket arm. He'll be throwing to Tyreek Hill. That's going to be hell to deal with. And then they still got some good players on defense. So I think that was a really good choice to be at 21 and be able to get the Chiefs was a good value there for sure. All right, so those are the 21 teams that have been selected here. You take a look, you start looking at divisions. Of course, the AFC East has 3 openings, so you can't really get a feel for that. The AFC North, I think that'll be tough with Caleb in there, along with, let's see, Tristan had the Browns. So those two will be battling it out for sure. Bengals are open, of course. And the Steelers, surprisingly, still open. I think they're a really good team, with everything. So they may get taken in the reverse draft, if not by a new recruit. You look at the AFC South, of course, you look at Jeff, who's in there with Glenn as the Titans. Jeff's got the Jags. And then Levi with the Texans. My goodness, what a division. Those are 3 perennial playoff teams right there. That's going to be a tough division. That'll be fun to watch. And then the poor Colts, whoever gets them, that's going to be tough. They may be the last team we fill this year. See, the AFC West, you got Deontay, of course, with the Chargers, and Blake with the Raiders. The good thing for Blake in that respect is Deontay likes to run the ball. So Blake does pretty well stopping the run. Of course, Blake likes to run the ball. Deontay does well against the pass. So, that could be some interesting matchups there. And then you got the Broncos and the, you got Shoebox in there with the Chiefs. Man, you talking about user linebackers. We got that on the table. We've been talking through something about user linebackers, and we're still going to talk about it some more in this chat. But anyways, no matter what, that's going to be a really, really interesting group there to watch in that division. You jump over to the NFC East, with Kyle and the Giants, Ragjob and the Redskins, and Big Main and the Cowboys. That's a really interesting group right there. All 3 of those guys have experienced different levels of success. And it'll be fun to see who comes out on top with that group, along with the Super Bowl champs who are open right now. So someone else could come in there and make that division a really, really interesting race. I think that's too close to call right now. The NFC North, we've got the Vikings with Aaron, who is going to throw the ball a good bit with a good quarterback. Lions are open, and then the Bears have Crazy Ed. We know he struggled last year, but he does have flashes of playing well. Hopefully Trubisky will be better in year 2. And then you got Gabe and the Packers there, and he's going to do. I think he'll do well with them. I really do, because Rodgers will be able to make some throws that other quarterbacks don't. And been stuck with Dak Prescott all these years, so it'll be something new to get used to with a good quarterback. I'm sorry. So we jump to the NFC South. You got myself as the Panthers. It'll be fun to get Cam back, and the Panthers have a lot of speed, man. We drafted some speed. Oh my gosh, now my head's going blank. Oh, DJ Moore at receiver. Is going to be a really, really nice guy to go with Curtis Samuel coming back in the receiving core. Those 2 guys will be really fun to use, along with, we'll probably start with Funches. And then Torrey Smith has some decent speed. McCaffrey's got speed. We signed this undrafted free agent from Louisville who's supposed to be real fast. So we're going to put some speed on the field in Carolina, and we'll go play. We got the Saints, of course, with Reggie in there. And then we got Ben and the Falcons in there too. So, I've had battle with Reggie back in 17 or 16. I can't remember now. I'm getting old. And I played Ben a couple times, and you know, when I played Ben, he didn't have his best teams. So I know he won a championship last year, so it's not going to be easy. And then the Bucks are open. So we'll see if we can get someone for them to come in, and we'll see if any of those guys switch in the reverse draft. I know Reggie won't. Be interesting to see what Ben decides to do. All right, and then you got the NFC West. We got Cody in there with the Cardinals, who I already said I think that's going to be a pretty good fit if he decides to stick with them. We've got Bugatti in there with the Rams. That's going to be hell. I think he's going out the NFC in year one. That's just so much talent with a good player. That's deadly. And who else we got over there? The Seahawks are open. And and Eric with the 49ers. I think the 49ers are a team to watch. Eric got a lot better as Madden 18 went on and became a force in there. So, I think overall this is going to shape up to be a pretty damn good league. Most of you guys have made the playoffs and won playoff games, in the past Madden. And in the past couple of Madden since you've been here, you've done pretty well. We'll get some new recruits in here. We'll get big mains guys and we'll let them choose teams. And then, like I said, the reverse draft will happen in late July. And then we'll recruit some more after that. And then the game comes out, the standard version comes out August 10th. And then usually we give it about a week or so, a week to 10 days before we kick things off. So probably too much time. We'll be, really getting into the league and getting things going. And we'll have a lot more coming, more polls. We've got a lot more things to sort out. I'm trying to be a lot more democratic about how I do things and let you guys vote on a lot of the things. Of course, there'll be some things that I'll say we're going to do this, no matter what. But most things we're voting on, and we roll with the majority, and the rules will be changed to fit what has been voted on in the polls, and we'll roll with it from there. So thanks for watching. Congratulations to everybody who got their teams, and we'll look forward to those new guys coming in and the reverse draft in late July and more polls to come. Make sure you vote. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it.